What happened in the last hours of British backpacker life? In the Horrors Room 308. Welcome to Guilty or Not. Auckland is a large metropolitan city in the north island of New Zealand. The most popular urban area in the country, Auckland has an urban population of about 1 million. Grace Emmie Rose Millane was born in Essex, England. In 1996 her parents were David and Gillian. She was the youngest of 3 siblings and had 2 older brothers, Michael and Declan. She was sociable, lively, family-orientated and loved all think creative and artistic. Grace attended the University of Lincoln and graduated with a degree in advertising and marketing. She was excited for a new adventure before she started. In the next phase of her life, after graduating, she planned to backpack for a year. She was described as compassionate and caring, and she cut her hair to donate it to the Little Princesses Trust so it can be given to children with cancer. In October 2018, Grace left her family home and set out for a journey. She was traveling to Peru and then spent 6 weeks in South America. She had met many other travelers as she traveled and hoped to share her adventures. On November 19, 21-year-old Grace arrived in Newland alone. After 11 days later she reached Auckland. She checked into the hostel, called Base Backpackers on the Queen Street, share a room with other travelers Saturday evening. December 1, 2018 Grace left the hotel just before 6 p.m. and headed out into the city center, with wearing dress black and white shoes and carrying a small handbag. She had made plan to meet someone she had matched with on Tinder. She was not sure to meeting up, but after some talking her and date made a plan to get some drinks. They had meet in Sky City, an entertainment complex with bars, restaurants and casino. She was sending texts to her friends when Iz was back to hotel saying, "He's an oil manager. He lived in a hotel in the city." After the hour later, they visited the place called Bluestone Room after 9:30 p.m. They both left the bar and headed down the street. On the next day it was Sunday, December 2nd, and it was Grace's 22nd birthday. Her family and friends were sending message and reaching out to her over social media, but as unusually wasn't responding to anyone. Her brother Declan said she had been bombarding them with details, pictures. Grace was the home bird, and this was red flag for family. On December 5th her parents contacted the Auckland police and reported her missing. Police reached a hostel Grace was lived, and they had confirmed she had not checked out back on that night. On December 1st the majority of her belongings were still at her hostel. For detectives, it didn't take long to track down where Grace been on that day due to the CCTV around the city. The man she had met was spotted that night, was quickly identified. Grace had changed her profile picture on Facebook when he was last seen. A comment was posted saying beautiful, very radiant. The person that commented was also Tinder date seen drinking without Grace. This man was Shane Kempson, who used to stay in City Life Hotel in Auckland. Shane Kempson, 26-year-old. Jesse was born in Wellington and moved several times as a child after his parents split. He have grown with his grandparents. Jesse was described by everyone as a pathological liar. He also had claimed everything from being. He had told I was a famous All Blacks rugby player. That he was the lied. He also told in the City Life Hotel that he was a top manager for Woolworths. In reality his rented and was being paid by the state benefit. He had last job in telephone sales. It also ended due to his lies. And all that happened on the day he met Grace. On December 1st, Jesse was the last person seen with Grace. That night in police, he was the man they knew helped fill in.
Tell us about Grace.
So I was talking to Grace on Tinder.
Yeah.
We'd matched on Friday. I saw that we'd matched the next day on Saturday. And then we met at Sky City, and then we decided that we were going up to Andy's Burger Bar, which is on the first floor.
Whose idea was it to go to that particular burger place?
Me, because I didn't initially know that she was real.
What do you mean?
Well, there's a lot of... So have you heard of catfish?
No.
So catfishing is where someone uses your profile, or uses your photos and pretends to be you, and then meets, and you're a completely different person.
Right.
And it's on Tinder, it's all about the way you look. And so if they use more endearing photos, you're more likely to swipe for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
How does meeting in a public place sort of protect you from meeting someone who's not as good looking as...
Well, there's security there. So if she wasn't who she said she was,
yeah.
at least in my mind, I'd feel safe.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's us.
Down there?
Yep.
Is that before or after?
That is after.
Okay. And where are you guys going now?
So she's going that way, and I'm going across the street.
Where do you walk?
I go down Queen Street. No, I go down Victoria Street, straight down to the bottom, and then hang a left, and I head towards the viaduct.
You go to the viaduct a bit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
You've kind of walked in a bit of a funny direction if you were planning to go to the viaduct.
Well, it's the direction I normally go.
Yeah. It's I mean, I'm just sort of saying, like, if you were planning to go to the viaduct.
I normally go down Queen Street and then cross at the bottom of Queen Street, go through the containers,
yeah.
and then walk along the wharf.
Yeah. Is there a particular reason you were going to do that?
I feel safer down that way. I don't know, it's a lot safer for me to be walking down that way,
yeah,
than walking down the back streets.
The Jesse was called to the police station, that he had messages her on Tinder on the next day, but Grace had unmatched on, he said. But as per police report that both seen in a City Life hotel before Grace's birthday, the morning after when Jess was leaving the hotel, they haven't seen Grace with him. And just before noon, he had in a taxi to the car on rent, and rented a red Toyota Corolla. After this, Jesse went out to buy a carpet cleaning machine later on huge night.
speak to us about the events of last Saturday. Is that correct?
Yes.
Tell me what happened last Saturday.
She started talking to me about 50 Shades of Grey. We started having sex. At first it was just normal. And then she asked me if we could get into bondage, having, I guess, more violent sex. We ended up on the floor, and then she told me to hold her throat. So I went into the shower, and then all I remember is falling asleep in the shower. I need to stop. I need to go.
Jesse said that when he had awoken the next morning and realised Grace was dead, he went into shock. He panicked and put her body in a suitcase and drove out to bury her. He still denied any guilt, however.
I didn't know what to do. I went downstairs and I was just, I don't know, I was all over the place.
You come out of the shower.
Yep.
The light's been on in the shower.
Yep.
You put a towel around you.
Yep.
You've turned the light off, and
Yep.
then you've returned to your bed and you've gone to sleep in your bed.
Yep.
And at that point, when you exit the shower, you don't look around, but your assumption from the silence.
I thought that she had gone. I thought she had left.
Following this, Jesse Kempson formally charged with her murder of Grace Millane. On December 10, when Grace was Detectives Inspector Scott Beard who looked over the case. 6 days after Grace was laid to rest, Jesse appeared in the High Court and he pled not guilty.